Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer. Today we're here for yet another Civilization 6 Wonder Spotlight, where today we will be taking a look at Apadana. So Apadana is a wonder that is unlocked with the political philosophy civics. This does make it a classical era wonder. To get the inspiration for political philosophy, all you have to do is meet 3 city-states, and generally if you are going to have met 3 city-states, then you might want to consider building Apadana just because of the bonuses that it provides. But either way, that is generally a pretty easy thing to do. As long as you build like an early scout, you should be able to meet 3 city-states, unless you get really unlucky with map gen, and then you end up with not 3 city-states around you, or if the AI decides that they're going to be a bunch of jerks and take out all of the city-states that are near you before you can even meet them, which is something that sometimes does happen in Civ 6. Either way, though, it is fairly easy to get to political philosophy, but I don't think it's early enough to rush it if you want a beeline for Apadana, nor do I think that Apadana is a wonder that is really worth rushing. Once you research political philosophy, the building requirements for Apadana are as follows, and they are very simple, and that is that it just must be built adjacent to a capital, so literally no matter what in any game, you will be able to construct Apadana because you will always have tiles that are next to your capital. It's literally impossible not to do that unless you have, literally lost the game and you have no cities, because you'll always have a capital and you'll always have a tile next to it. So the building requirements for Apadana are arguably some of the easiest to satisfy in the entire game. It does have a production cost of 400 production as well, which is consistent with all of the other classical era wonders, so you can expect around 20 turns to construct it. As far as Apadana's bonuses are concerned, it will provide you with +2 slots for great works, and these can be any great work, so it can be either writing, art, or music, it doesn't matter. And that actually is kind of decent just because of the fact that there is no restriction on what type of great work it is, so that means music can fit in there, and great works of music, it's a lot harder in the late game to find space for great works of music, but you can put them in Apadana. That's a very down the road thing, but it is actually quite worth it because music provides quite a bit of tourism. Apadana additionally does provide +2 envoys every time you complete a wonder, and this does include Apadana itself, so it straight up provides +2 envoys as well. So the bonuses for Apadana, I don't think they're bad, and I think that situationally they actually can be quite strong. If you're playing Pericles, I would 100% recommend going for Apadana, or even if you're playing Gorgo, I would still probably recommend going for Apadana. And most of this just comes from the envoys every time you complete a wonder, so if you're playing a civ that generally likes to be friends with city-states, or if you happen to notice that you have a lot of good city-states in the game that have really good suzerain bonuses, then I would consider Apadana to be a pretty strong wonder, and the great work slots are just nice on top of all of that. The other thing is that Apadana does synergize very well with Kilwa, which is the wonder later down the tree, because Kilwa is the one that gives you percentage-based bonuses for being suzerain of city-states, and if you're suzerain of more than one of the same type, then you get a boost throughout your entire empire of, I think it's 15% of that city-state's yield type. So that combined with Apadana, if you're going to be going for a culture game, building a lot of wonders, becoming suzerain of a lot of city-states, then you can get some insane yield boosts if you go for that synergy with Apadana and Kilwa. But Apadana by itself even is pretty decent, and I think that its bonuses are situationally very good. And now it is that time to give Apadana its ratings. So if you're new to the series, what I do is I rate each wonder on a 1 to 5 scale, with 1 being terrible and 5 being amazing, and that rating just kind of judges the overall effectiveness of the wonder and how good its bonuses are. I'm going to talk about some of the use cases for the wonder and give it a difficulty and consistency rating as well, both of which are also on the 1 to 5 scale, with difficulty being how challenging it is to compete with the AI to build the wonder, assuming deity difficulty, and consistency just being how consistent the bonuses are and how applicable they are to any given game and how versatile they are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and rate Apadana. So for Apadana's overall rating, I think that it deserves a 3. It's a fairly average wonder, and in some situations it can be very strong, but in others I don't think that it is. So for the ones that I think it's not very strong in, if either, the city-states that are in the game don't have very good suzerain bonuses, I think that kind of nullifies some of the benefit of Apadana. The other thing that really sucks with it is that you do have to build additional wonders in the same city that you build Apadana in to gain the additional envoys. So if you're going to be playing a game where you have a lot of strong cities that you're going to be constructing wonders in, or you're going to be spreading your wonders out, then you don't really feel the impact from Apadana very much. The other thing would be that currently in Civ 6, the AI are really aggressive towards city-states, so a lot of the times, it doesn't even matter what portion of the game you're in, the AI is probably going to be bullying city-states and just taking them over anyways. So a lot of the time, all the city-states that are in the game will just get taken over by the AI, and if not all, most of them will. So that is just something to consider with Apadana, in that you're probably not going to keep those bonuses for long, because eventually the AI are just going to take one of the city-states. The situations that it is very good in, though, are whenever you either A, have really good suzerain bonuses for the city-states in the game. So if you find that you have city-states that you particularly like or could be particularly useful to you in a game, then Apadana could be very good. If you're going for a culture victory and you're probably going to be building a lot of the cultural wonders in your capital, Apadana can be very good as well. Or if you're just playing as one of the Greek civilizations and you're going to be getting envoys from their acropolises or acropoli, or if you're playing Pericles and you get that extra culture from every city-state that you're the suzerain of, then Apadana can be incredibly strong. As far as its use cases are concerned, I've really kind of touched on them already, and that really the only use case for Apadana is to gather more city-state bonuses, and that's just kind of what makes it so situational, is whether or not you really feel that you need those extra city-state bonuses, or if, they're really worth the production and the time that you're going to have to spend to build Apadana. As far as its difficulty rating is concerned, I think that it deserves a 2. It's definitely not one of the more difficult wonders to build in the game, and the strange thing is that I don't really know why, considering how easy it is to fulfill the building requirements for it, because pretty much every single civ in the game is going to be able to build Apadana, but 9 times out of 10, the AI is going to go and build some other stupid wonder that they decide is more worthwhile, like they're going to put, Petra on a one-tile desert, or Chichen Itza on a one-tile jungle or something like that, and just get 0 bonuses out of it, but they're at least going to laugh at you because they've taken the wonder from you. But instead, they're not going to build Apadana, even though it could be useful to them, and they definitely have the building requirements for it, so I'm not really sure why they don't like it, but for whatever reason, in most games, I do find that Apadana is available to build, and you don't even have to be super competitive for it. So for that reason, I think that it deserves the 2. And for its consistency rating, I think that it deserves a 3. It's fairly average in consistency, but as I've mentioned so far, there is a lot of situationality. I don't even know if that's a word, but if it isn't, I just made it up. But there are a lot of situations where Apadana isn't good, and a lot of situations where Apadana is good. So that kind of evens it out to make it like an average consistency, just because for the most part, you're going to be getting at least some benefit from Apadana. You're at least going to be getting those great work slots, and you're at least going to be getting 2 envoys whenever you build Apadana. So you're never going to get 0 bonus out of it, but you're also not going to make it. You're not going to make use of its full bonuses in certain games, and in some games it's going to be incredibly useful. So for that reason, I think it is average consistency and deserving of the 3. So thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.